attend certain programs and stuff like that. So what is, I don't know the technical possibility or the legal possibility about it. So what is your thought on that?
And as we go into the next recommendation, which is specific to the lower commercial high schools, you'll see a component of that wanting to recruit students from other schools within the district as well as from outside of the district, those who may be attending private school who are actually living here, but then also focusing on a recruitment effort for students from each of the high schools.
Okay. And another question I have is about creating some skill-based courses. I know that we are so excited about opening CT center, open to the students from all over Portland ISD.
Mr. George.
Mr. George?
Yes.
Okay, this is James.
Thank you, Mr. Verdeen. Okay, my question has to do with, first of all, I'd like to say I like Mr. Rosenthal's idea about adding micro-societies to the list. I remember when he did the presentation, and it was very interesting and seemed to touch on a lot of the attributes of the profile of graduates, so I liked that suggestion. And it's meant for elementary students, is my recollection. I guess what I don't mind this recommendation here, but I'm a little bit concerned that our measurement of it doesn't necessarily align with the spirit of the recommendation. So the recommendation is for expanding choice, but the measurement goal is about number of students. So I'm wondering if we are trying to recruit students that exist in those zone populations, students that aren't attending Fort Bend ISD schools, students that are attending other Fort Bend ISD schools. I'm trying to understand what is the goal? Who are we recruiting to participate in these programs?
I would say that we are recruiting students within and without. So we know that we have some students who to offer the opportunities to students within Fort Bend, much like what we're doing at our Early Literacy Center.
Okay, so thank you, Mrs. Williams. So to meet the goal to get us to 80%, what type of numbers does that mean that we would, and I assume we're doing 80% across the aggregate, or is it? It's 80% across the aggregate. So what type of numbers are we talking about that we would need to recruit?
We need to do that math and bring that back to you.
Awesome, I love that. Okay, well, thank you. I would like to know that for next week. And I would also like to just recognize that when we choose to do new programs, they're going to have expenses and they're going to have costs. And since we talked about the budget for an hour earlier today, I just want to be mindful that when we think of something new, then we have to stop doing something else in order to be able to afford what we want to do. And if we're going, and I would also just add that if we're going to work on attracting new students, that might be a different market than attracting students that are already attending Fort Bend ISD. And if in all of this, the goal is to increase attendance in Fort Bend ISD, that, which would help our bottom line, I think Mr. Bassett would agree, then that's an admirable goal, and there could be some more math done to figure out when the cost of the program would actually be a cost benefit to us. And so that would be later on in the process. It might be interesting to learn that so that we can be making a good decision as to what we should fund and what we should not fund. So thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. James. I appreciate your comments, suggestions. Mrs. Toffan, do I see that you have your card up?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Verdeen. So I just wanted to reiterate that because I think I like that we're going to be engaging the community and going through that whole process, but if, and while some goals may be to bring programs into those neighborhood schools, if another goal is to increase attendance and increase the number of students that are attending schools in Fort Bend ISD, we may need to put on a little bit different lens. So I just wanted to put that out there and make sure that we're keeping that in mind. But I appreciate the timeline. I think that helps us, know where we're going with this and helps us to make a better decision. And thanks for, talking about the various programs that might could go in and between engaging the community, and I think keeping that in mind, hopefully we'll get something good.
Wonderful. Thank you, Mrs. Thompson. Mr. Rosenthal.
Yes, to follow up on what Mrs. James was saying, she started asking some good questions. And so the numbers really are going to be important. And two, I think somebody said the word marketing. And so we have to bring something unique. So if it's something that every other district has, well, why are they going to come to us? Okay, so that's kind of why I like the program that I was pitching. But we have our apostle folks here. So I think in our last update, I think you guys were able to kind of at least estimate the number of students who live in those areas that are attending elsewhere. I don't know if you have those numbers, handy. I'm not asking you to have them handy, but if at some point, I mean, if you do, great. But if
so
not, then
we have some whole numbers for you. We
Okay.
don't have it broken out by school or anything like that.
okay, no, that's fine.
But basically, attending private schools, we estimate that there are just shy of 3,700 students in K-12. And also in K-12, attending charter schools, we're more certain about this number, 3,379. We get a lot of that data from the state through transfer data and things like that, but we also call all these schools as well.
So we're losing, district-wide, we're losing about 7,000 kids. So-
Plus 1,380 that go to other ISDs. So
Okay.
maybe Lamar, Houston, Alvin.
So 8,000 plus, okay. So, so that's good to know. It would also be good to know, and since we're kind of targeting these areas, it'd be good to kind of know, at least this general area, I mean, is it 50, is it 100, is it,
Right.
if possible.
We have that. Is it on? We have those numbers. They're a little less reliable,
Sure.
but we do have that, and we can break it out for
Sure.
sure.
I think that would be good to know, and I think we also should consider, since we just heard that we're losing 8,000 kids district-wide, I think we need to market some of these ideas elsewhere. I realize that the word pilot is in here, so I understand that. But let's, consider what, consider the best programs and figure out where we could implement them and bring more of these kids back to our district. So, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rosenthal. Was there anyone else that wanted to make a comment or had any questions? I just wanted to make a comment to piggyback off of what Mrs. Thompson said. Thank you very much for the timeline. I think that's very helpful. Two questions that I had were actually answered. One was community input on the programs we're going to implement. That was addressed. And then who are we trying to capture? And I think that was answered when Ms. James had asked a similar question. So thank you all for the comments and questions. Do we have any extra, or do we have any other comments? Are we good? On to the next review item, 6A2, review proposed approval of facilities master plan recommendation related to the utilization of Marshall and Willow Ridge High Schools. Dr. Dupree?
All right, I'm going to take it from there. Thank you, Jason. So recommendation 10 was to use available high school capacity at Hightower, Marshall, and Willow Ridge to implement innovative instructional programs that expand choice opportunities for students and improve student outcomes. And similar to recommendation 6 and 8, you all asked us to go back and do some more work. And so I'll share with you the updated recommendation shortly. You asked for us to set utilization goals, further develop the recommendations, and address that community engagement component. And so staff has been working, and we've set a goal that staff will recruit 200 plus students per year to attend innovative programs, beginning in the 1920 school year, with that planning year in 1819, to to increase utilization at Marshall to 80% by 2022-23. Specifically, recruitment of 15 to 20 students per high school will result in attainment of this goal. Willridge High School will remain under 80% utilization through 2027-28, and this is intentional to provide needed capacity for program expansion and to accommodate the growth that we expect and anticipate in the Willridge attendance boundary, as well as allow for overflow relief during this anticipated growth in surrounding areas. Additional details were provided by staff regarding the design team, same structure and planning mechanism that we mentioned in recommendations 6 and 8, to engage with students, parents, staff, and community members to effectively assess the needs and identify and develop programs specific to Marshall and Willow Ridge. And so that leads to the updated recommendation, which is to use available high school capacity at Marshall and Willow Ridge. We addressed Hightower in the last round of meetings where every program at Hightower will remain at this point and improve student outcomes.
Thank you, Ms. Martinez.